Being a single mom and doing it all by yourself is brutal. Learn the brain and energy tools to get back to your center and overcome your challenges. Welcome to Single Moms Doing It All. This is Muriel Felous, your host. And today we are going to talk about the holidays and family crazy, because how many times do we need to hear it? And the answer is as many times as we need until we change. I was being interviewed today, and we were talking about the need to repeat habits and the need to see information many times before it actually sinks in. So that's why every year for the holidays, I talk about the crazy family dynamics and how it affects us, how we actually regress to being like, 6 or 7 when we are put back in the scenarios, the situations, the positions of our childhood, and we reproduce what was going on then, even though we are now like 40, 50, 30. We are mature adults, but we literally, when we're under stress, we regress. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to give you some tools and resources to not do that. Talking about holidays, before I forget, there are discounts on my website, singlemomsdoingitall.com. For the coaching, I left the cyber discount for the holidays because for many people it's a difficult year, and you get 20% on coaching, on individual sessions and packages. And there is also a discount on the membership, which I forgot what the percentage it is because we did it some time ago, but there is a discount, so go check it out. The last thing I wanted to say is, if you like this podcast, please go on iTunes and rate and review it, because I want to reach my numbers are growing, but I want to reach as many moms as possible. In the last few weeks, I've been in contact with a lot of moms who were experiencing some challenges, and I gave them some specific podcast episodes, and the feedback was great. So I want to make sure that every mom out there who's struggling with a certain challenge gets the tools to deal with it in the most powerful way as possible, but also the more harmonious and peaceful way. I don't know if we can talk about peace when we talk about facing challenges, but there is a level where we can go back to our center and for our challenges not to ruin or take our whole days hostages. So please, if you can, go do that. And if some moms around you are struggling or need guidance or just want to listen for fun, let them know too. So, family crazies. It's, you know how I always told you, I'm telling you every time I do an episode, it's like the universe is making sure that I pay attention and I have material to talk about, because in the same week, either I'm going to go through a challenge or a situation that will resonate with my topic, or some of my clients will come to me with that specific topic. And this week, I had 3 people who struggle with family dynamics and a person in their family. Some of them have very toxic people in their family, and it's crucial to have the tools to not fall victim or stay victim of those relationships. And So let me give you an image. The image that comes to me when I talk about family dynamics and how they can hurt us. You know how you go back to your family or the people who raised you or the people you have baggages with. Somehow there is a side of you that knows what to expect. You know that person who's going to have those nasty remarks all the time. Or you know that person that's not going to take you seriously and make everything you say a joke. Or that person that when you're going to say, you're going to set one of your limits, one of your boundaries, they're going to walk on it right and left and center. Or people who are highly criticizing you. All those scenarios, somehow you know what to expect. All those people, and we have some too, we also have our dynamics. We also have our patterns. When we regress, we fall right back into our old patterns. And some of them are not that pretty. So, of course, let's not beat ourselves up, but let's seize this opportunity to change and seize this opportunity to grow and seize this opportunity to protect and love ourselves. So let's say that you have a member of your family that is really difficult and even hurtful. I would describe them, we're all porcupines. And a porcupine, when it feels threatened, will shoot their spikes. And I think there is venom on it, if I remember well. I would have to do some research on it. If you know, please put a comment, on my website, on the page for the episode. There is a comment section. Let me know if you know about porcupines. I should have researched because that's the image that came to me. So without realizing, they feel threatened and they shoot their spikes. That's exactly what's going on with your family. And our hope sometimes, when it becomes really tricky and hurtful, is that we go to that reunion or we go to interact with that person and we still expect them to be another kind of animal. They are porcupines. We have our patterns, and unless we work on changing them, we consciously work on changing them, or something in our life, and most of the time it is something traumatic, I must say, happens to make us change, we won't change. We're creatures of habits. That's how the brain works. So those porcupines, they're not even aware that they're porcupines. They're not even aware that they shoot their spikes. Or sometimes they're aware that they shoot their spikes, but that they think that that's the way life goes. That's the way. I have someone in my family who, to make us react, would send some spikes, would, have a hurtful remark to make sure we actually react. And that's how that person knows that we care, because we react to that person. We feel, we show that we want to be loved by that person by reacting. And sometimes that's just the model that they've learned. Don't forget, we learn from our parents, and our parents learned from their parents. It's not to say that we should accept everything, but there is no should, first of all. We could understand it better to live it better. So once you know they're porcupines, you know they're going to shoot. Stop hoping that suddenly you're going to open the door and you're going to see a cat. And I picked a cat for a very specific reason. I'll explain that later. They are porcupines. You can love them from afar, but your job is to prepare yourself before you open the door. That's where I do tapping, and it helps rewire the brain. It helps develop new responses to situations, more conscious ones, more healthy ones. That's where your responsibility lies. You're not responsible to make them change. We don't make anybody change, sorry to say. Not even our own kids. People change when they feel like it. People change when they're ready for it. People change when they had enough suffering from staying the same. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they die without changing. It's not our job. It's between them, between them and the universe, between them and God. Our job is to tend to what is on our side of the fence. And by preparing yourself, you are protecting yourself. So what are you doing to prepare yourself? You know that person is going to behave in that way. Decide in advance, I am not dancing that tango. They're inviting me to dance. No, thank you. I'll go dance, I don't know, a dance that you dance alone, or I'll go dance with another partner. So be ready to not engage, no matter what they say. You know who they are. The other thing is, one of my favorites from the 4 agreements from Don Miguel Ruiz, don't take it personally. They are who they are. So, once you have that in mind, they don't change. It's not personal. And I can prepare myself to not engage. You're equipped. And sometimes it's easier said than done. But you're going to go into the reunion and you're going to feel yourself a little bit triggered. Go to the restrooms. Breathe. Breathe while, patting the sides of your arm from your shoulder to your elbow. Because there are nervous meridians there. There are energy meridians, acupuncture meridians. And when you do that enough times with breathing deeply, you're going to calm yourself. And get a hold of your thoughts. Throw away those garbage thoughts, like those, oh, again, they did that to me, or I'm going to show them, or all the desire for revenge. Disengage. Deactivate the bomb. You don't want it to explode later when you're going to go to bed and you're so upset. Deactivate. You don't have to dance. So that's one thing. Now, so that's putting a boundary with their stuff. You don't give them permission to trigger you. That's a boundary. You don't even have to say it. You will behave in such a way that they will lose interest, or they will become even harder on trying to make you react, and then you have to multiply your training and you're not engaging. Of course, I'm sure it's not to a point where you're going to deal with people that are so nasty that they're going to start like creating a scene or cursing at you or whatever. But if it becomes in any way threatening or you see that's going to be hurtful, just leave. But that's not the kind of scenarios I'm talking about. So that's that one sort of boundary. Now, there are other boundaries. You need to put a boundary with them, and now you need to put a boundary with you. So we already talked about not engaging. That's a boundary. We already talked about not rehearsing and entertaining thoughts of victimhood, like they did that to me. That's another boundary, not falling into the victim. And not engaging in desires to retaliate. That's another boundary. And your job is to get out of the target line so that they can throw their spikes and it's not going to reach you. That's where I'm talking about being a cat. This week, I coached 2 women, and twice I said, become a cement wall where the arrow is not going to penetrate. That's another kind of image. But I think a stronger image is get out of the line of target. Get out of it completely. You don't even have to receive that arrow or that spike. Get out of the line. And that's where I talk about being a cat. Because cats, and I'm biased, of course, because I have a cat that I adore, but cats are very independent. They have very clear boundaries. They will let you know when they want to be pet and when they don't want. They will let you know when they want to be next to you and when they don't want. It's everything on their terms. And they're fast animals, they're felines. So they're going to get out of the target line. They're going to get out of the way of the predator. So become a cat. Don't expect other people's in your family, other people's. That's completely false what I just said. I have a tendency to add S's sometimes. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know. My mouth just does it by itself. And I guess it's from French, because in French, when you put things in plural, you add an S. Well, in English too sometimes, like, I don't know, tables. But in French, it's even more common. So other people in your family won't become cats. Don't expect them to be a cat when you open the door, but become a cat yourself. And calm yourself in advance. That exercise that I'm talking about, like patting your arms from shoulder to elbow, do it often while you think and you anticipate the attack, if you will, and you anticipate yourself moving away from the line of target. I will do a tapping session in the Facebook group. So if you're not in there, the Facebook group is Single Moms Doing It All, and it's MOMS for you listeners who are in England. It's not MUMS, it's MOMS, the American way. And or you can also contact me on Facebook at Your French Life Coach. Come join us in the group and do the tapping with me, either live or on replay, to prepare yourself in advance to not engage and not react, but be able to consciously respond. That's what I have for you this week. So I hope it helps. Remember, we are all here to learn. And nothing is really personal. People are just who they are. Some of them are really messed up, but there are maybe ways where we're messed up too. And we don't have to accept to be the receiving end of hurtful remarks or hurtful stuff. We just have to get out of the way and put our limits. That's our job. That's what it is being mature. That's what it is to not react from your inner child, who's 7 or 6 or whatever your age you are when you regress under stress, and react from the mature person that you are today, because you know better and you have tools. They are free. There are tools everywhere around you. It's not about learning them in your mind, in your head, intellectually. It's about practicing them. Michael Jordan didn't become Michael Jordan without throwing the ball thousands and thousands and thousands of times. When you practice it a lot, you reach mastery. And that's what I wish for you. Have a wonderful holiday season. There will be no episode next week. And I'll see you the week after with... I'm going to let you know in advance. We are going to do in my membership, we have live sessions, at least one coaching session every month. This month, I'm going to make 2. We're going to work on using what happened this year, closing the year, and using what happened, both good and bad, to create an even better year next year. Even though we are going through difficult stuff right now, there is still room for that. So if you want to be part of it, you can opt for the free trial to be part of that session, trying the membership for free, and you can decide if you want to stay after that, yes or no. But you can join for free, and that you're going to check on my website, Single Moms Doing It All /membership, and you'll see there is a 7-day trial option. And now would be the time to do it, because if you do it now, so you do it 7 days before, at least the most 6 days before, so you can attend the session for free. And if you stay, you will enjoy the discounted rate. I think it's 25% for the rest of your life if you stay a member, because you join during the discount period. So now is the time to do it. So I'm letting you know in advance. I'm letting you know in advance if you want to really close the year and set the foundation for something even better next year, something even more powerful, and get more empowered and creating your life, co-creating with the universe and creating from a place in you that is wise, mature, and vibrating high. So have a wonderful holiday season. Have a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating. I'll see you next time. Bye. If you like this podcast, please review and rate it on iTunes and share it with your friends.